money can buy. Her beauty represents me well. She loves me and others can tell. Her heart is where my love would dwell. Talk about her man and she will rebel. I ain't ashamed, this ain't a game. She was right there in the storm and the rain. Endure the pain and the financial strain. Now she gon' shine with the fortune and fame. She gambled her life for me. She sacrificed for me. She deserves it all. It's only right, you see. No matter the price, you see. I picture me driving the foreign. Me driving the front and now my history is changing. She's my day one and there is no rearranging. She's had my back through the times when things were straining. Now she benefit from every cent I'm gaining. Listen to what I'm saying. No dividing, no compromising. She gon' ride while I keep on climbing. Just recognize we gon' keep on thriving. She believed that I'll see greatness in due timing. I picture me driving the foreign. My shawty, she riding the passenger side. She riding the passenger side. 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was there from the beginning. She was there in the beginning. There in the beginning. He took me driving in the beginning. Foreign with my foreign.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 good evening. Welcome, welcome. It's 8 o'clock on the Monday night, and I want to say welcome to the best place to be, because you know you're in the right place with the right people at the right time, because you're living your best life with Life Coach Kurt. Man, we got a hot show for you tonight. I got one of my fraternity brothers in here. Not only a fraternity brother, a friend, a brother, a consultant, a counselor, you name it, he do it. We done been through it together for a while now, and it's just a blessing. I want to shout out to my sponsors, 702 Braids for You. We got Cindy Michelle getting it out there. And then we got Red Rum, Mobile Hair Salon. We got my girl out there doing that, Jamisa. She all over the place, y'all. So you got to get to her, call her number, hit that email, and she comes to you. Everything, full service eyelashes, manicures, pedicures, any kind of braids, any kind of frontals, she got it for you. And then I run over there and see my other sister, Bougie Girls Vegas. Just type bougie in when you get to Google, and it's gonna come up first. Just remember now, if you go to their sites and you see something you want and you put Living Your Best Life or Life Coach Kurt in the sample for the code, that's going to get you a 10 to 15% discount on any of the products they have, whether it's you getting your hair done or you getting some of this ice cold jewelry I be wearing. Compliments of the Bougie Girls. Love it. My sponsors, they the ones that keep this show continually to go. And but I got a special one for y'all in just a minute, and I'm going to tell you. So we're going to switch in and get this started. I am so excited. My life is just really building up in the exposure from this show. We getting it going, living your best life. Last week we had an incredible time learning about the 9 essential resources you need to live the best life. You know, so I got some new gear, y'all. Y'all know I be giving out shirts, and he's usually a t-shirt, but now you got to check it out, because I'm going to stand up a little bit if I can, and then you're going to see the Living Your Best Life polos. I got these polos going. I know I kind of faded out there, but we're going to hang up one and show it to you, because y'all know how you do. You come on my show, you get blessed with a shirt. That's just how we do it, man. I'm just so glad that my guests come on here and they believe in me and they allow me to project what they're doing and finding their passion and their purpose, and that's what they're living, and I want to highlight. But we got a special one for you tonight. We're going to go ahead and bring this guest in. This brother's incredible, man. He'd have been through hell and high water, excuse my language, but you know what? When you got that passion to do what you want to do and live your best life, there's no quitting in that. Me and this brother stood side by side in good times and bad times, but they always became better times. Because remember, we don't have bad days, we have bad moments, and then we move on. That's what we do up here when you're living your best life with Life Coach Kurt. Ain't no doubt about it. Hey, you can only control what you can touch. That's what I say. Bring that guest on in. I got the best BU radio family. Our producer, hey, I got Apples over here. He killing the game. You know, that's Alex, y'all. But you know, it's a blessing that we can come on here. And these brothers, they take care of us. They give us a platform to elevate ourselves and others that we bring on as our guests. It don't get no better than BU radio because that's beautifully unique every single time. All you got to do is look at the B and the U, and then you know you living your best life with Life Coach Kurt. Brilliantly unique. That's it. Wong got me. She say, boy, you better say that right. Outstanding. I want to introduce my partner, man, my brother, my frat brother. Go Sigmas, you know, live and die. Blue Phi, you know. Okay, that's it. I got Brian Veal in the house. Brian, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Frat.
Man.
I'm doing great, man. I'm very excited to be here, man. I sometimes you can't put things into words, man. I'm real excited to be here.
There you go. Well, it's a blessing, man. We really, really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and coming on the show. And I'm going to tell a little bit about how we met. Now, back in the day before I had my stroke, I was averaging about maybe 225 bowling TNBA. But I know you killed it on March 14th over there at the TNBA. What did you shoot?
290.
Man, look at here. Almost a perfect game. Oh, my goodness. All strikes and one spare. Wow. 290, almost a 300, a full load. And, you know, that's something that brings us together. It's the competitiveness, having fun, bowling. Oh, man, I used to run Las Vegas when it came to bowling. Yeah, I said it. I used to run Las Vegas when it came to bowling, you know. We both been a part of the TNBA, right. And it's a great association to be able to over at the Orleans, and it's just great lanes and great bowling. So, Brian, go ahead. We got some surprises. We know we got you a new book out there that's doing some things, and we wanna tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I moved here about 21 years ago from the Bay Area, and you know, you were actually a mentor of mine before you knew it. I came here and I started a lawn service, man, in my car. I had a Grand Am. I put a lawnmower, a blower, and a weed whacker in the back of my Grand Am and went around cutting grass. Mm-hmm. And then a cousin of mine was in Vegas. She said, yeah, I had a friend who was doing that, and his name was John. And I'm like, so later on when we met, my cousin had told me about you before we even met, man. And
wow.
So that gave me inspiration before I even met you that, okay, well, I can do that.
Wow.
You know, so I started the lawn service, and I was working actually 3 jobs when I first got here, man, because it's one thing I was never shy on or afraid to do, man, is work.
Right, but I didn't know you had some Jamaican in you. You're working 3 jobs. Come on now. You know that's how they get down, bro.
Right. Well, man, once you've worked for your father, I worked for my father for years, man, and so I wasn't afraid of hard work.
Okay.
And I was working graveyard at AM/PM and cutting grass and doing bill collecting.
Okay.
And one day I was at AM/PM graveyard, and I was tired, man. A guy came in, he said, man, you look tired. I said, I am. I'm working these 3 jobs. He said, well, let me tell you something. I can get you one job making more on that one than you making on all 3.
There you go.
A week later, I was working for Republic Services.
Right. There you go.
And you know, I kind of got what Vegas is built on, who you know. So you got to sometimes put yourself out there. Now, if let me back up real quick. Okay. I had a friend when I first moved here, and I would speak to people, being from the Bay Area, you know, being from Cali, you know, you speak to people when you make eye contact. So she said, why are you doing that? I said, huh? She said, why are you speaking to people? She said, we don't do that here.
Oh man.
And so I never followed her thinking, man.
Right.
And I continued to talk to people. So had I not talked to this guy every night when he came in the store, he might not have offered me that job.
Exactly.
And so I learned then, I got advice once when I was bowling. A guy said, man, I can tell you're not from here. I'm going to give you some advice. Don't let Vegas flip you. And that's some good advice, man.
Yes,
and I stayed true to who I was, man. I speak to people. I interact with people. And had I not done that, I may not be sitting here talking to you, John.
Hey, but you know, that's a blessing. And I tell you, it's funny when we come, because we both from the Bay. You from Sac. I'm
Yeah.
from Oakland, by way of Berkeley, so it's the Bay Area.
Right.
But, you know, E40, you know, Too Short, and everybody else that come out the Bay because we old school. But, you know, it is a little different here because it's not, like you say, it's not what you know here, it's who you know. And it's
Right.
the true statement because I really lived my life through that. The people that I've touched, helped, mentored, or just been kind to often. Like you say, I speak to everybody. You know me, closed mouth don't get fed. That's what
Right.
grandma say.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but your journey. Take me on a little, because you was in the middle of that journey. Now, I'm a highlight something, because, you know, we Sigmas up here.
Okay.
So a shout out to Epsilon Psi Sigma. That's my fraternity that I crossed back in 2002. And then we got you, Lambda Kappa chapter at UC Davis.
Right.
Winter. I was a spring. And
Right.
you winter 1991. Is that correct?
No, actually, it was 12/21/80. John.
Oh, goodness.
12/21/80.
Man,
Yes,
you
sir.
old in the game. I'm just getting up on 20 years. You got like 35 years in the game. That's what I'm talking about.
12/21/80.
Man, what a blessing, man.
It
that
is,
blue and
it
white
is.
family that long.
Right.
And
right.
you know we all watch out for each other, good, bad, or indifferent.
That's for sure,
family's
man.
family, no
Yes,
matter
sir.
what.
Yeah, that's
So,
for sure.
you know, I was doing a little, everybody say, Kurt, how do you be knowing so much about people? Cause I got resources. I have people everywhere. If you ever seen that movie Superfly, the new one,
Yeah.
and he says technology and information is power.
Right.
Man,
Right.
and he told that guy, I got people everywhere. I got people in the jails, I got people in the prisons, and I got Kurt. I follow that, man. I got people all over the city.
That's
so when I
right.
need some information, we do our research.
That's right.
Now,
That's right.
correct me on this, but I want to know. I know you were really close to your grandmother. Is that correct?
Yes, I am, John.
You call her Grams. That's it.
Grams.
That's it. And I remember February 18th, 2020, she turned 101 years old. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Man, oh man. So tell me, what does she mean in your life? Because I know she was the historian of the family.
Yeah.
And everybody surrounds Big Mama. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But you called her Grams.
That's
Tell
right.
me a little bit about that relationship.
Wow, man, that's sometimes, you know, like I said a little while ago, man, it's hard to put certain things into words,
Right,
man.
right.
But grandma was a safe place.
Okay.
Years ago, I was out there, man. I was out there in the streets, and I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing,
Oh, yeah.
man. You know, before I grew up, so to speak. And me and my cousins made a oath, man, that grandma's house would be a safe house. When we
Okay.
got tired of running in the streets, we went to grandma's house.
There you go.
All the Easters and major holidays were at grandma's house.
Right.
And so it was a safe place, man. And my mom died in 87, January 8th, 1987.
Okay.
So my grandmother became my surrogate mother, so
Right.
to speak. And when I needed that nurturing, that motherly guidance and information, I went to my grandmother.
Right.
And it's a unique relationship because I'm the one, no matter how far I was away from her, I'm the one that called, Grandma, how you doing? I'm good, baby, I'm good. Or she'd call me, bro, I haven't heard from you. How you doing? You know, it's one of those kind of relationships, man, that is special. It's special. And she's 102. and still kicking, man. Still kicking.
Man, is that a blessing? That is a blessing. 102. Man.
She has outlived 3 husbands.
He said she outlived 3 husbands. Okay, now.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding, man. And that's, see y'all later. That's the Wong crew out of here tonight. All right. Hey, that's a blessing because, even these new generations, sometimes our grandmothers become a lot younger over the years.
Right.
I've noticed that. So I'm not going to say the kids don't get the same nutrient, but it's a completely different time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Technology is moving. It keeps us connected, but it's not always the same as what we used to do when we went to Granny's house.
Right.
She gave us that wisdom that we needed to stay grounded. She put them whoopings on us when we needed them.
Yeah.
I ain't pulling another switch in my life because I get the small ones and they hurt just as much as the big ones. So
right.
Well,
I was kind of lucky, man. We had 13. She had 13 grandkids, and I was in the middle somewhere. So the oldest ones always got it, no matter what happened. I remember my sister. She was the youngest, lost her shoe. And the oldest ones got in trouble for it.
That's right, because y'all know better. Y'all supposed to be watching out for them young ones when you come from a big family. That is show.
That's
Man,
right.
that is for sure. So let's roll on to this next one. Because I'm leading this up to what we really here for.
Okay.
But I want people to really get to understand the person that you are.
Okay.
And I don't know how comfortable you are about some of the hardships. You ain't got to tell details, but you can say, hey, I had this issue and I got through it on faith and a little help from some other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, as your banker, like a lot of my clients that come in here, I've always been their banker at some time or another, 17 years in the game.
Right.
But I remember some of the conversations we used to have. Go ahead and speak on that, my brother.
Yeah. Okay, John. Well, like I said, I grew up in San Francisco. I spent most of my adult life in Oakland, as a matter of fact. I went to Sacramento State. But after my mom, well, actually, I started dabbling in drugs and alcohol in college, and I managed to graduate. And then after that, I went back to San Francisco, and my mom was dying, and I used that as the excuse to really get into the drugs, man.
Okay.
I didn't want to face it,
Right.
And so I chose the easy way out, so to speak. Or, you can say I chose the cowardly way out, man. I got into drugs, and I ran with it, man. I became addicted, I believe, to drugs, mainly cocaine and alcohol. And
you had no pocket change in you. You went for the big one.
No, actually, I didn't keep too much pocket change toward the end.
That's it. I heard that.
So, I went through a course of programs, man, and finally I got off the ride, man. It's like being on a roller coaster, man, and the attendant walks away from the ride to stop it. Either you gonna jump when it's at its lowest peak, or you gonna jump at its highest peak. And I managed to jump at its lowest peak, man. And I had a lot of support. I had lost my family because, and in my head, before I started working on myself, I'm thinking I lost them because they left me. But in all actuality, I had left them.
Exactly.
And then I got them back. And then I decided, I'm going to go to school and learn about drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
And so I went back to school. I had got my degree. I managed to get my degree, man. I'm going to tell you what helped me get that degree. I had a teacher, a professor, man, and he called me in his office. It was a white professor, man. He called me in his office. He said, Brian, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know what's going on with you, but I can see you have changed.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some advice. Get that degree, because no matter what happens, nobody will ever be able to take that from you.
Amen.
So I went ahead and I completed college, man. I graduated from Sacramento State, but then I went back, when my mom was was dying, I went back to San Francisco, man, and I got caught up in the streets. And then I went, started going to programs, and I had support, and then eventually I got it, man.
Yeah.
That was not the life I wanted to live.
That's
and
it.
I think and I believe that it was the foundation that my parents gave me that I had a road to go back to.
There you go.
And you know, some people don't have a decent road to go back to.
Right,
So it ain't
exactly.
like I had a foundation, man. I had both parents in the house. My parents were back then in what's called middle class. So
Right.
I had a good foundation. So I made it back, man, by the grace of God and support and loving people, man. I didn't do it on my own.
No,
I
we
didn't
can't
do it
do
on my
nothing on
own,
our own.
And so then I decided that I would move to Vegas because I bowled here a lot in the major tournaments back
Right.
when there was the showboat.
Right, exactly.
And so I heard about all the jobs that were going on here, but nobody told me they was only paying $6 an hour.
Well, it wasn't California. The cost of living was tight. And if you was bowling at the showboat, cost of living was still low in Las Vegas.
Right.
You get a house for $45,000, 3 bedrooms. You know what I'm saying?
But so I went, I'll tell you what happened, man. I went for my first job interview, and the guy said, well, you know, we can offer you $675. And I started laughing. I thought he was joking, right? Because I had his boss's position in California, right? So I'm like, well, and he didn't know I had already talked to his boss about a higher dollar per hour, you know, anyway. So that's why I wound up working 3 jobs. You know, I got my first paycheck from AM/PM, and I brought the check home, and I told my wife at the time, I said, you know, I think they made a mistake. She looked at me, she said, no, they didn't.
Welcome to Vegas.
I was just so much shocked, man. I couldn't believe it, man. And then the next couple weeks, that guy walked in and got me that job at the garbage company. Mm-hmm. So, you know, my marriage got tough, man, and I need to admit I wasn't a good husband, man. I got caught up in going to the casino, and I wasn't faithful, and so I can only speak on my part.
Right.
I didn't
Exactly.
do the things I needed to do to be a good husband, and so the marriage didn't make it. I got 3 beautiful kids out of it.
Yes, indeed.
And that marriage, and then I embarked on another relationship, man. And one thing I found out, all the work I did on myself is one thing I never really took a look at. And that was my relationship with women, man.
Okay.
And it's something that most people don't. That's why 60% of marriages end in divorce. But
Exactly.
you know, I didn't look at how I had been showing up in relationships, man.
Okay.
And so that was the final piece of work I had to do, because I got into a relationship where I couldn't get out of it. I didn't get out of it until it got ugly, and there was some legalities where I had to prove myself innocent on some things, and I almost, I was in jeopardy of losing my livelihood, my license, and everything, man. I managed to do that, but something told me, you got some work you still got to do on you.
Okay.
And that's when I continued to do some work around relationships, and I have a sponsor. I'm in recovery, man. I've been in recovery 20 years or so.
Outstanding.
And I did some work,
Great.
around relationships, man. And because I did all the work on all the other stuff, but I hadn't taken a look at who I've been showing up as in relationships. And that was about when I met you, man. And then the finances too.
Right.
I had to look at. And you gave me the simplest tip, information that, I'm sure you don't mind me sharing it.
No, go ahead.
You told me, Brian, all you got to do, man, is get the app download it, and look at your account every day.
Every day.
I'm like, I think that was about, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be maybe a little bit longer than
right,
that.
maybe 10, yeah.
Yeah.
And I do that to this day.
That's it.
Every morning, part of my process is I do my reading, my spiritual reading, and then I check my emails, I check my account, in that order, every single day.
It's a discipline.
Every single day, and man,
it saves you so much money.
It's amazing what happens when you pay attention to your account, man.
Yes, sir.
And I did that, and then I had part of the work with the 12 steps and working steps around finances. I was told simply write down every penny you spend up to 60 days.
Okay.
I was told you might get the answer in 30. I got it in 30. I couldn't believe how much money I wasted on sodas and little knickknacks every day. So if you clock your money for 30 days down to the penny, you will see where your money is going. You know, you hear people say, I don't know where my money. Oh, you'll find out where it's going.
Find out where it's going. The tools are out there. The
Right.
banks have the tools, but sometimes we don't even want to go look. I don't want to know where my money going.
Right.
I just need to make more money.
There you go.
But then you're spending more money, and you're not putting no money away. So it's a routine.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I've been blessed enough to. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this first quarter of 2021, coming to BU Radio and getting this exposure, man, I'm getting emails. Kurt, we want you to come on our platform, and we want you to teach this. Like, I'm doing financial literacy for 9th through 12th graders about boosting your savings and understanding relationships with financial institutions. I'm so excited about that for this weekend.
Right.
But these opportunities come from people that, like you say, somebody told you about me.
Right.
That's what happened. Somebody
Right.
told them about me, and now I'm getting the glory and getting to do what I love to do, man. I love speaking, public speaking, teaching, coaching.
Right.
You know, that's where life coach is coming from. I've been doing it all my life,
Right.
but never made no money off of it.
Right.
Ching-ching, 2021. Hey, it's been a blessed year. We moving in the right direction.
That's right.
All
That's right. That's
so,
right.
you know, I wanted to go real quick and talk about some resources. What resources or even advice that's really helped you on this journey called life to the point that you are today? And when we come back after break, that's what we're going to talk about. But just give us, coming out with your book and everything, what resources or advice that really helped you?
Okay. You know, through the process of reprogramming, that's what I call it, reprogramming myself, man. I went through a lot of workshops. One was called Healing the Father Wound.
Okay.
That's where we looked at the relationship between, you know, oneself and their father.
Okay.
And then there's Healing the Mother Wound, the relationship, because those two relationships are so significant, and people don't really look at them as closely as they should. And you know, in my book, and later we'll get into that, but that and then Love Supreme, which deals specifically in relationships.
Okay.
And Men on the Mend, Men on the MEND, where we looked at
ourselves
repairing some of the damage that has been passed down generation to generation to generation.
That curse.
The curse, the generational curses, man.
Yes,
that, and then, man, I listen to Les Brown.
Yes, sir.
T.D. Jakes.
Yes, sir.
You know, some of the motivational speakers that are out there today.
Eric Thomas,
Eric
number one.
Thomas. I listen to him. So I, you know, for 30 days I made a commitment to listen to Les Brown, one of his speeches or talks once a day.
Okay.
For 30 days. And then I do a lot of meditation.
Okay. Yes.
And then there's the motivational positive affirmation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I go to YouTube, man. I just guided meditation, and I pull up affirmations or guided meditation,
Right.
and I pull up letting go.
Okay.
Because,
Let go.
the main thing is, man, we hold on to a lot of stuff that we really need to let go of. But how can you let go of something if you haven't really found out what it really is you holding on to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think men have trauma. When we talk about trauma,
Oh, man.
90% of the time it's always women.
Right.
We have some of the best here at BU Radio that talk about women's trauma, women succeeding, what they go through. If you hit, I got you subscribed, then they pop up.
Right.
Tomorrow is Tuesday. We're going to have life coach Amber J on here. She talks about that. And we have other people that does the same thing. Myself, I get into it a little bit. But, yeah, man, it sounds like when you started self-discovering yourself, that's when the healing started.
Oh, yeah.
And it continues. It's a journey, just like being in sobriety or something like that. It don't happen just in 12 steps. It's 100,000 12 steps each day. We
Right.
get up and we have to
Right.
focus on that, because if we don't, we backslide. And but getting up, listening to positive affirmations. See, now you done told me you listen to all them other folks. I'm gonna have to turn up my YouTube channel a little bit, because I don't hit it like I should be. But I'm just so busy, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I need
Right.
29 hours in a day and a clone
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
everything done. But we're gonna run to the second half. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna listen to some dynamite music that I want to shout out to my producer again, Alex. He gonna put something on. We're gonna take a slight break. We're gonna come back, and when we come back, you're gonna really understand what living your best life is.
Right.
All right, now,
Right
thank
on,
you.
Jeff.
All right.
Potato sugar,
Yes.
Django isn't a slave. Django is a free man, you understand? You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here, because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Yearning for your validation.
Validation.
All in hopes I'm in the conversation.
All in hopes.
Pour so much of me into you. Can't believe I ain't never feel for me instead of you. I slide in the coupe. Fire, lose the roof. I die for the truth. Fired by no rules. The devils in cahoots. Drop a prayer on the screw.
One time.
Got God on my side. How can I ever lose still? I wanna be humble, but I gotta flex. On them niggas. I don't wanna mumble, but let them respect.
Respect me, nigga.
I do it my way. They say it's left. To the left. If I sell my soul, what I got left? Because I don't need nobody else.
Yeah, right.
I'm lying to myself. Not talking physical, dog, spiritual and health. All these opportunities is higher, I can tell. Got to be the man upstairs, cause the timing never fails. My advice, keep moving. If not, you can lose it. Wasting time on the clueless. Knowing they can never do this. Back. Tell them pessimists they need to spine. Cause whack when they're paralyzed in the mind. I don't need nobody else.
No, I
I'll
don't.
tell my younger self.
What you say?
You got God as your help. Just let it go and never dwell.
My advice.
Unless they good to you. My advice. Look in the mirror, tell the truth. My advice. Sometimes you gotta break the rules. My advice. Stand for something or die for nothing.
My advice.
Flex on them if they hating on you. I would tell my younger self. Yeah. You should never go and let. Yeah.
I don't know if this is still going.
Hypothetical. Fuck all opinions. Your validation and your acceptance. I never needed you. No one never needed you. I never needed you.
No, I never needed you.
Hey, y'all know that music, boy, it get me moving in my seat. You think, I don't dance like I used to, but I just imagine what the kids be doing, and that get my groove on. So welcome back to Living Your Best Life with Life Coach Kurt. I got my guest on here, Brian Ville, my frat brother, just my brother, period. It don't matter if he's in my fraternity or not in my fraternity, he is still my brother, because we done traveled together a little bit and on this life's journey. So, as always, when a guest comes on, I got something for you. But let me tell you what happened. Last week I had my show, I was doing a training, and then I get off the show, and Cash App is just bling, bling, bling. I'm like, what? Somebody love Kurt? Man, my brother Brian broke a brother off, and I'm like, man, that's the first. I mean, I got sponsors, but that was the first donation I have gotten on my career here as a radio host. So y'all know usually I give out just regular T-shirts with, my logo and everything on it. But today, I had to step it up to the same kind of polo I have on today. I'm going to try to shine this up for you so you see what it say. Living your best life with Life Coach Kurt. Don't get no better than this, and that's for you, my brother.
Right on,
Good.
John.
I know it got you kind of
man.
them Sigma Gamma Rho colors, but it still got the royal blue in there.
Right on, my brother.
There you go,
Right
man.
on, Fred. I
Got
appreciate
you. Here's
it,
your
man.
bag and everything.
Right on.
Appreciate you as well.
All right.
So as we go into the second half, I just want to let everybody know I appreciate you. I'm going to give some shout-outs on here who we got in the chat. We got John Palmer. Oh, that's my boy. He always here for me. We got Brian who's sitting next to me. Hey, Misty. Misty Pettiford, never miss a day. Don Coates, thank you very much. Cindy, one of my sponsors, is watching. BU Radio's right here. Delicacia, oh man, thank you, love, all the way from the LA area, hitting in with your brother here. We have a long time. I used to mentor her son and everything, and it was just a great opportunity to meet some beautiful people. Thank you very much. We got Joe. Hey, Joe Belfray, City Baller out there. That's one of your boys.
Yes,
That's
sir.
it. Hey,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for clicking in,
All right
Joe.
on, Joe.
Outstanding. And Cindy Birkenhoff, that's well, she's always been special to me. But you know what? She got on this show. She gave me such a great shout out last night. Cindy, I love you and your family. Lauren, everybody, you are just an incredible lady, and I love you and thank you. Chrissy, another one of our hosts on Braids and Beauty. She wasn't on the show today, but that's okay. She was busy, but guess what? She come on and help me on my show. Thank you, Chrissy. Don, we got them, everybody. Thank you, Roy. Thank you for tapping in. That's another one of Brian's guys that's out there. Shannon,
From Hodge.
always. Hey, Shannon. Okay, I'll put my order in tonight. I'm going to text you for my apples. Yes, I need 4 of them, just like always, and I'll shoot you that. We talked about it the other day. And then you got another one on there, Shannon Cooper. And this is just on Facebook. I can't see my IG and stuff like that, but they can see it over there. Isaiah, hey, Pops, that's your son. There you go, Isaiah. Welcome. All right, so let's get back to the show. As we segue into this last piece, I want to say this. If you had to say what has been your biggest accomplishment in your career this far, what has it been?
Wow, man. Aside from being a father, which is, I don't even put that on the list. That's just above all, man. Completing this book is probably, because you had to work. I had to work through a lot of fear around it, man. That I hadn't never experienced. I had never experienced before, but. And then the naysayers and things like that, man. And just the internal fight you got when you're trying to do something and you got that internal voice telling you can't do it, man. And I just kept fighting, man. And people wanted to sponsor me to do the book, and I wanted to do it on my own, man. It's something I wanted to accomplish totally by myself, man, other than the information and mentoring and, the people I've worked with.
Okay.
That, is a cumulative of all that had me put the book together. But I think that's the single biggest accomplishment.
Outstanding. So I know your book is named Whose Story Is It Anyway?
Right.
But on the bottom of it, it's got your name and it's got all these long words, letters, man, the CADC, and then it goes to the CDVC. And I really know that those are your certificates or your qualifications to do the counseling that you do. But tell us a little about that journey a little bit.
Well, like, I said with school, man, I managed to get my BA from Sac State. And then I first got certified in College of San Mateo. At College of San Mateo, I was one of the first 6 graduates from the CADI program, which is Certified Alcohol and Drug Educators program. which is a now it's a national certification out of California, and I just wanted to learn more about drugs and alcohol and how to help others, man, and that was the main thing. How do I might as well help other people, see the light like I saw the light, and then I decided to when I came here. I didn't know I had to go through the whole process again, which I found out I didn't. They told me I did, but then I went to them and said, well, hold on, you're telling me I don't have to take all the classes, but I can't be certified. And then they had to take a look at their process.
Okay.
And I took the test, and I passed the test, and I became certified in Nevada.
Okay.
And then I met a friend working named Maria, and she said, Brian, I think you'd be a good domestic violence counselor. So she hooked me up with an agency, LRS, here in Vegas, and I started doing domestic violence counseling, man. And it actually is, John. I get so much gratification, man, working with other fellas, man, and women too.
Right.
And the process of realizing that, everybody says, well, every relationship argues. It's just a simple thing like, you know what? Every relationship doesn't argue.
Thank you.
You don't have to argue because you're in a relationship.
You have a conversation.
You might disagree, but that don't mean you got to argue about it.
Right.
And and there's things I had to learn also.
Okay.
In my relationships about not having to argue, allowing the other person to say whatever it is they need to say. It don't mean you got to argue back. And that's where the certifications came from.
Outstanding. It's always good. And doing this COVID over the last year and this first quarter, that's big on the topics of conversation is how domestic violence has increased, how mental stress has increased, men and women and children.
Right.
Huge right now.
Right.
So hopefully we have more people just like you out there being a servant. That's what I always say. Mm-hmm. When we're dealing with and helping others, that is truly servitude.
Right.
And then you go back to our motto, culture for service, service for humanity. Because
Exactly.
we ain't just talking about mankind, because I always say that's just one.
Right.
We say humanity.
Right.
There is no color. There
That's
is
right.
no race. There
That's
is
right.
nothing when you say humanity.
Oh, man.
And that's where we sitting at right now.
You're right, man. If you look in a domestic violence class, you will see every race,
Yes.
creed, and color in
Yes.
there. It
Yes,
is.
indeed.
It is universal.
Yes.
Relationship and trying to make them work, man. They don't have a percentage. The percentage of divorces and domestic violence is across the board.
Yes. It don't matter.
Right.
It don't matter
Right.
if you come from poverty or if you living in that 1%. Everybody got some issues sooner or later.
Man.
Okay.
I've had stars
Yes.
in the class. Let's say from the park bench to Park Place.
Okay. There you go.
I've had A to Z in my classes,
Wow,
man.
that's incredible.
Because it's something that requires work, man,
Yes.
and we got to change this programming that we've had about how you're supposed to show up in relationships.
Right. We have a brother here. It's called Malik. Malik's Truth is on Wednesdays, I believe, at 7 o'clock. Incredible book he's written. I'm just starting it. He gave it to me about a month ago. And, I got like 7 books I'm trying to read at one time. Because when you surround yourself with a lot of coaches and a lot of authors,
Right.
you buying their books or we exchanging books for shirts and things like that so we can all support each other. And that's
Right.
what we do here at BU
Right.
Radio. If nothing else, we support each other strongly. And I love
right.
that.
That's
Okay,
right.
so let's get into this. We almost get into the fun section, but this is what I want to go to. In your book, what do you think was your unique skill that have helped you become successful and decide to go through and finish your book?
Well, I got a couple, man. One of the main tools that I like to talk to people about, man, is payoff versus cost. Not to give too much of what's in the book and how you work with it, but is people try to compare it to a pro and a con.
Right. Okay.
But pros and cons is what might happen.
Okay.
Payoff and cost is what has happened and what is going to happen.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Not what might happen.
Okay. I see you. I see you.
So
now you got me excited to read it. Nah, dang, another one to my list.
yeah, the payoff is what's going on right now.
Right.
And the cost is, man, what's going on right now. What it's costing you.
Right.
And there's a lot of different things that we don't look at, man. Our emotions,
Right.
The driving emotions we have: love and belonging, fun and happiness, freedom, power and control, survival. Now, people don't necessarily take a look at those like in depth. We don't take it a step further. Like, what keeps a person stuck in a situation? It's a driving emotion. It's emotion that keeps us stuck.
Yes.
Okay, now why does that emotion keep us stuck? Where does that come from? Where does that thinking process come from? Where did we get that from? And then we go back to maybe childhood or some story we got from somebody way back when, or that we made up way back when, as if it was the truth, man. And here's something, man. I don't have the truth. I just have a different way to look at it.
Thank you.
I just offer another way to look at some stuff that's going on with us that, and offer tools and techniques to maybe change some of that stuff, because obviously if you're looking at it, it might not be working as well as you'd like it to.
Right. That's kind of like you peeling back the layers.
Yeah.
And going all the way back, because, I work with these kids in the juvenile justice system, and we talk about triggers and the things that they've gone through, and that's why some of them are acting out.
Right.
And the parents don't understand to sit down and start peeling back them layers and see where it come from. Either they want to be blind to it because they don't want to make the realization that it's just not working, your parenting style. You can change that. And online makes it easy, man. There's so many resources out here to better ourselves, but we have to want to better ourselves, in the relationships or just life. Because everything's about a relationship. I don't care if it's business, personal, your marriage or anything like that. Or just walking into a store to buy a new car and getting that relationship with that salesman. It's no haggling no more. It is what it is. But just throw me a couple of extras in there because I'm going to pay cash for this.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's about relationships.
It is.
So going into the regards to the book, you talked already about how the project began. But what's your favorite memory related to this project?
It actually began, man, in I used to teach and I still do sometimes. It's called an Effective Choices class. It was a class where people were court appointed to go for petty larceny, drugs and alcohol, and impulse control.
Okay.
And it's an 8-hour course. And that class, there was a guy. He's a well-to-do guy. He got houses in Cabo, Arizona, and at the end of the class, he said, "Brian, you have got to put this on paper."
Ah, nice.
And that, to be honest, was the origin of the thought.
Okay.
He said, "Brian, you have got to put this on paper." And that was like 2013 or 14, man, maybe 2012. And so that's the origin of it.
Okay.
And so I just developed over the years the way I delivered the class, man. And I make it where by the end of the class, people, they don't mind so much that they had to go.
Right.
And I try to do the class as I do now the same way, where people they look forward to coming to class.
Okay. And they getting them gifts because you be dropping them gems up in there. That's
right.
And you shifting people's mindsets, because some people come in there with a fixed mindset, meaning they already know everything, and the court's just making me go through this.
Right.
But once you start generating conversation and people are looking beyond their egos and break it down and say, wow, man, I can change. And
Right.
this is interesting. I mean, I didn't know this stuff.
Well,
Helping people save
yeah.
lives, man.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
I just empower them to change their thinking. This simple thing like, you know what, the court might have told you to come here, but can you imagine how more empowering it'd be if you tell yourself you choose to come here?
Hello. Switching the mindset from fix to growth.
Since you're gonna be here anyway, you might as well choose to
Come on
be
now.
here
Come on
and
now.
get something from it.
Yes, sir. That is it. And all great instructors do that. They understand the value behind that.
Yeah.
And that's that style, your
Right.
delivery,
Right.
your honesty, and they feel the love coming from you. Because
Right.
when we coaching from the heart.
Exactly.
You know, I always tell people, I coach from my feet, not my seat.
Right.
You got to be in the game. You got to be over their shoulders, giving them that support, which makes people better. And then they know they can come to you with any issue, and you have a solution, or we gonna figure it out.
Well, you know what I used to do, John? Sometimes I would go in the classroom, and I would, the instructor's seats would be in front.
Right.
I'd come in a little bit late, and I'd go sit in one of the seats on the side where everybody else was sitting.
There you go.
And they'd be like, "Oh man, you in here too?" "Yeah, I'm in here, man." and before you know it, I did moved up to the instructor's seat, and they'll start cracking up. I didn't
That's
already
it.
loosen up but because the bottom line, John, is everybody's a phone call away.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
Anybody's a phone call away. And I'm no different. That's just not where I'm at. I happen to be the one sharing most of the information, but
Right.
I'm no different than nobody else, man.
sir. We all put on our pants the same way, one leg at a time.
Right.
Really?
Right.
If you look at
That's
it,
true.
we all
That's
the
true.
same. I
That's-
don't care if you're making $1 million and you're making $5.
Right.
We all have the opportunity to grow, but we still put on our pants one leg at a time.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Before we get into the fun, this is a question that I love to say because we've all experienced it in one way or another. But what would you say is the most common reason why people fail or quit on
Wow.
anything they're doing, whether it's writing a book, whether, it's a relationship? Why do you think that comes about?
Wow.
I mean, it's a general
I got
answer,
it. No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's really not. I'm saying wow because it's ironic you would ask that question right now. I was just sharing, man, in class the other day that the biggest reason, the most profound reason that people don't succeed, and it was broke down by Les Brown. I'm actually,
okay.
taking a clip from him.
That's great. That's what he's doing for.
And he said, and I've been looking at it in my own life.
Okay.
People fail because they don't stay committed to their commitment. And I use that every day. When I start feeling down or when I start like, nah, I don't feel like doing that. And then what are you committed to?
Mm-hmm.
And then I do it. Because
There you
am I going to not be committed to my commitments? Not anymore. I'm going to do my best to always stay committed
There you go.
to what I say I'm committed to.
Because all we have is our word.
That's it. That's it.
All right, so now we got the fun time. Y'all got that. You got to stay committed to whatever you're doing. That's your why. Usually that's your why you doing what you're doing is the commitment. That relationship you have, whatever you're experiencing or trying to achieve.
Right.
Man, come on, y'all. Y'all hear that in the back? Make sure we say that for the ones in the back. It's the commitment, okay?
Stay committed,
Stay
to
committed.
your commitment.
To your commitment. Stay committed to your commitment. All right, y'all. All right, here we go. Now, this is fun time. Y'all know I love fun time. So, if you had one word, now I really read a lot of John Gordon. He's an incredible author. And he came out with a book. It said, what's your word? Okay? My word is servant. That's what I try to lead my life by. Sometimes I serve too much. But God say, who's to say what's too much? Right. You keep doing that, and I'm going to keep blessing you. I'm still here. And, I've been through a little bit of my stroke, and I was in the hospital for 3 months.
Right.
But, he keeps telling me, your work is not done, son. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep serving your community, your family, and your own personal life to become better than you was yesterday.
Right.
So I ask you, what's your favorite word?
Ooh, my favorite.
Put him on the spot, y'all.
My favorite word. Oh man. Okay. I had it was a 3-word.
Okay, go ahead. The 3. Make it a combination. I'm with you.
Keep on pushing.
Keep on pushing. Hello now.
Keep on pushing.
Wake up. Your feet hit the ground.
Keep on pushing.
Because that was your first blessing right there.
Yeah.
When you woke up and your feet hit the ground.
Right.
So you
right.
got to keep pushing. Outstanding.
Yeah, we always have a lot of things that want to keep us stuck, man, or make us give up, man. I lost my dad last year.
Yes, we
in
both.
May.
Yes,
You know, and I wanted to. It was times, man, when I was tired. I was tired emotionally,
Right.
and I just kept. You got to keep pushing.
Got to keep pushing.
Keep pushing.
If you had to say there was something that you really wasn't good at, but you've gotten better at. And I think you said it earlier, but give me that one more time.
Being in relationship with others, man, and just being with other people's what they okay, let me put this together. Accepting with other people their beliefs and their opinions and where they are.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. That's real right there.
Because sometimes, you know, I'm no different, man. I judge and I hold people in contempt before I even, you know, accept their point of view.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a tough one though. That's a tough one when it comes to even personal relationships, but even building other relationships.
Right.
But you know, sometimes other people look at it different. We don't have to change who we are. We just have to maybe listen a little bit more. Be compassionate about somebody else's feelings and not just jump on it. Hey, I got that fault too. Sometimes I'm just, man, Kurt, you know you can do better, bro.
Yeah.
you know you can do better because I am far from perfect.
Right.
And our last question, this is a great one. So, if you had 24 hours to switch lives with someone for a day, 24 hours, who would you choose?
Wow. 24 hours.
24 hours. You get to be somebody else for 24 hours. Who would you choose?
Can I get 3? No. 3 people?
Well,
No.
we have to combine them all together if we have to. So give me 3. Who would it be? Because you only got 24 hours, so one of them going to get 8 hours, the other one going to get 8 hours, and the other one going to get 8 hours.
I'd have to say, okay, first one popped in my head was Denzel.
Okay, here we
Washington. And then, I don't know, for some reason, Samuel Jackson.
Love both of them. Okay.
Yeah. And then I thought about Martin Luther King. Those 3 that I just went with what popped in my head, man. Those 3.
That's it. And you know, mine is always Martin Luther King is one of them. I would love to spend 24 hours in his shoes. If I had to choose another one, Buffett.
Okay.
Warren Buffett. I would love to be him for 24
Right.
hours.
I
Lord.
know that.
And you know, a couple of weeks ago, Shondell Newsom from Some New Marketing was on here, and that's who he said.
Buffett.
And I was like, I did some research, and I'm like, man, that makes sense. 'Cause even though he's getting a little older and technology's taking over, you know, he's a real estate guy and all that. But man, that's a great one. And my third one, I would just love to be my dad over again.
Oh, okay.
For 24 hours, you know, growing up Curtly
Okay.
was an experience. And he passed at 94 years old in 2018.
Right.
And, you know, I talk to him often. My mom last year, 2019, 2019, my mom passed away. And, you know, you're like, wow, man. You know, you by yourself now.
Yeah.
You know, my sister gone, my brother gone.
Yeah.
It's just me and my immediate family.
Okay.
And that's what I hold on to.
That's
but
right.
I got a whole lot of other sisters, cousins, nephews, and everybody else to make sure I still have family.
That's good.
Man, when we close this out, I know you just got your IG handle and everything. It's at brian.veal. We can contact you there.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you have your email?
Yeah, Bill Bryan
Okay, Bill Bryan, go
at
ahead.
gmail.com.
All right now, Bill Bryan at gmail.com. Y'all can hook my brother up, reach out to him, let him know, golly, man, I seen your journey, and it sounds like you went through a lot, but look at you. You still standing tall.
Yeah.
You still got your head up proud.
Right
and
on,
you still
John.
surrounding yourself with people that just care about you.
Right
and
on.
lifting you up, and
Right
as
on,
you
John.
lift them up. Well, everybody.
Let me say,
Oh,
can I
go
say
ahead.
real
Yes, sir.
quick?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a workbook that comes out with this book also, man. So,
okay.
you can grab this book, but then there's going to be a workbook where, sometimes we don't want to go and sit in that office for,
Okay.
12 months, once a month or once a week, and you can do the work yourself.
Yes.
Because that's what this is. It's a self-help book. And then in a few months, my story will be out.
Outstanding.
So my biography will be out.
Okay, watch out now. Double off.
And that'll be the whole story.
That whole story. Man, what a blessing. I just want to give a shout out to Brian. Thank you for coming. To all my sponsors, the BU family. I got 702 Braids for you. Cindy Michelle doing her thing for us. And then we got Red Rum with my girl Jamisa. She's doing her work. And then we got Bougie Vegas. And, Sister Chocolate, I call her. She's doing her work. And it's just a blessing to have you guys in my corner. Well, once again, it's Monday night. It's 9 o'clock. And we got to go somewhere. You can't stay here, but you got to go somewhere, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Share as many times as you can, because sharing is caring, and we're going to drive these numbers up. But the information that comes out on living your best life, it's always there for you, and you want to take advantage of that and bless somebody else and let them know. As you heard earlier, Brian got told about me before I even knew him. Bless somebody else and tell them about Life Coach Kurt. We out of here.
Great work, John. Great work, John.
Thank you, brother. Stay blessed and highly favored. Amen.
You too.
Yeah. Why they so jealous? Natural. DT 702. Then I guess you got it like that. Dick in the thighs and that ass so fat. They hate it when you get attention. When you walk by, they don't say nothing. They jealous. They be jealous. Them hoes, they so jealous. They be jealous. Turn heads when she walk in. Superstar paparazzi start flocking. As the beat starts knocking, shorty hit the dance floor, ass start dropping. She's truly independent. She's grinding and she's winning. The other girls pretending, not stopping till she fending. She ain't got no man unless you got them bands. Why these hoes be hating? The drama they're creating, but it ain't even phasing you, 'cause you're amazing. So fast. When you get attention, when you walk by, they don't say nothing. They're jealous, yeah. They be jealous. Them hoes so jealous. They be jealous. She like the room when she enters, everyone's attention, she is the center. Fellas double take when they see her, watch her transform as the beat hits the speaker. Shawty ain't no average chick, unless you coming with those bands, no she's not having it, no.